Hey guys, so welcome back to Convos with Key. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about one of the worst guys to marry. One of the worst type of men to marry is the man who feels pressure to marry you. And I say that because now, before I go into depth and before I start getting going in, I wanted to say this. I know that some of you may say, oh, well, if he's a grown man, he could just be honest and tell me that he doesn't want to marry me. He could just be straight up and upfront with me and let me know he doesn't want to be married. How immature. True, but no, a lot of them do not. Particularly and especially if they are financially dependent upon you. If they need you for finances, meaning they need a place to stay, maybe they have a boatload of child support, so they don't think that they can really afford to have their own home. Maybe they can't get their own place. Um, Maybe they just cannot stand on their own 2 feet as men for whatever reasons or another. Um, yeah, this is where you end up in these types of scenarios. So let's chat. One of the main signs that you are going to notice with a man who felt pressure to marry you is that he um, he resents you. Okay, you're going to notice this sense of harboring a sense of resentment against you over time. And so maybe at the beginning things are pretty good, but you're going to start to slowly notice his attitude changed toward you. So now this is where he starts to stay out longer. He's not coming home. You guys are arguing all the time, but every time you get into an argument, he feels, the need to let you know and throw up in your face the fact that he never wanted to be married in the first place, and because you forced him down the aisle. And so now he feels justified to begin to cheat on you. He feels entitled and justified to cheat. And now there's other women in the picture because he never wanted to marry you in the first place. These are some of the things you're going to hear with these types of men. Next, nasty attitudes. Their attitudes change. So where he maybe used to be, or even try to pretend to be a little kind and loving towards you, he can no longer pretend. The mask falls off. And so he starts to treat you nasty, abusively. Maybe not necessarily physically abusive, but definitely verbally and emotionally. And this is where you're at home a lot by yourself. You can't figure out where he's at, why he doesn't come home. He maybe he hasn't quite mustered up the nerve or the heart to let you know that I don't want to do this with you, or he doesn't quite have a reason to go just yet or a place to go just yet. Another thing you're going to notice about these types of men is that they are always searching. They are always searching for the woman they do want. And so they never stop searching. These men are always looking for the woman that they want. So when they didn't really want to marry you to begin with, they didn't ever see you as their wife, because the reality is that men know a whole lot sooner than they lead you on to believe that they do if they really want to see you as a wife or not. And when they don't see you as a wife, they drag their feet, they give you excuses, you get a bunch of cop outs, and you get left in the dust and in the wind hanging. It could be years, and sometimes you could end up popping out a few of their kids, and you still don't have a ring, and maybe you're wondering what is going on. What's going on is the fact that he doesn't have the heart to let you know he never saw you as his wife, but he doesn't mind having sex and sleeping with you because you're convenient. You're convenient. And so this is why I always tell ladies to make sure you vet the relationship out. But if you notice that you've been with this man for years, you shouldn't be with a man for 5, 10, 15, 20 years without a ring. Furthermore, stop giving them kids um, if they won't put a ring on your finger. To give a man a baby is a pleasure. Um, that is a privilege. And it is something that is an awesome privilege that not every man should deserve to have freely. And so, if he doesn't want to put a ring on your finger, you have no business giving him kids. Um, Secondly, if it's taking him too long to marry you and you have to put a gun in his head, you got to put a knife to his throat, you got to give him a bunch of ultimatums, he's not the one. A man who wants you is not going to leave you questioning or guessing where you stand with him. He's going to make it very clear and upfront that he loves you, that he wants you. He's going to put a ring on it to ensure no one else gets the opportunity to get what he has. Thirdly, um, once you've given him your body, your time, your life, the kids, you guys have already lived together, you're already paying bills together, you're doing all the things that married couples do. Um, there's no sense of urgency there to marry you or put a ring on it because everything else has already been handed to him per se. And so, why would a man want to risk putting a ring on your finger and making it a legal commitment if you've already given him everything that he could dream to or imagine to want? There's no sense. So, my advice to you is to pray and ask God for discernment, to heighten your discernment so that you know that you're not getting played. But apart from that, um, stop allowing men to um, waste your time. Stop giving them years and years of your time, and they don't they haven't worked for anything.